So back at BSA, here's the bike. Just been talking to Michael, the salesperson. He's gone to photocopy my driving licence, so we should be away in a few minutes. Conditions are cold, but a lot better than they were last week. Getting the demonstrator out the showroom and it's a bit tight. Let's get it sorted and ready. Right, the clutch is very light. Yeah, feels comfortable. View is good. So, I think the first thing we're going to do is do a walk round. Okay, the audio on this was a bit obstructed, so just very quick walk round whilst I'm getting myself sorted, listening to the exhaust sound, and just quick look at the engine and the decals, which has been highlighted as being a bit dodgy. Can't see the second spark plug though. Yeah, haven't really ridden the bike yet, so let's get on. So instead of feeling cold, I'm actually sweating. Right, we can now go. I'll report back on these new gloves another time. Right, back on the bike. Huzzah! Indicating. Now, a bit of a false neutral there. I can't do that. So, we're in gear. Make for a gap in the traffic. And we can go. At last. I think that little incident, I won't show it to you, with a young man proves that wherever you go with this bike, you're going to be a sideshow. Right, 30 mile an hour limit here, got to be careful. Feels better. Somebody said the fuel gauge is a bit. I think this mirror can be knocked quite easily, certainly at the moment. Yeah, 30 miles an hour, Shallot. That's Shallot. It's not quite happy in top gear on it, but it is only done 52.2 miles now. So yes. Brake is more than adequate. There we go. Loads of torque. Bike's got loads of torque. Slight hesitation though. Can't really smell here. Gear change smooth as silk, really. Now, a brand new bike. Right, I think mirrors are just about okay now. Plymouth looks beautiful in the sunshine, even though it's not really a beautiful city. Yeah, it's comfortable. Seats well padded but firm. This is the inclination to filter on this. Oh, still sweating. $53 miles. Yes, so we're going to retrace our steps to a certain degree. Going to attempt any fancy moves on this. I'll stick to basics. It's 40 here, so at least we'll get past 30 for a while. How does it take the bumps in the road? The road's greasy and slimy, so not doing anything fancy. Not taking on the BMWs. Yeah, I did squirm a bit over the white line. Dials are easy enough to read, they look very classy. Not sure about this, it is quite big. Need to get up to some speed, I think. Dual carriageway shortly. Possible stop at Sainsbury's on the way back. The guy. Plenty of talk, I can tell you. Plenty. Finally riding this mythical unicorn of a bike, like they promised so much for so long, and now it's here. Does it match up to the promises? I'll watch my review to find out. I'll no doubt do some concluding comments at some point. Be careful around roundabouts, as it always seems to be diesel on these places. Behind me, Tedman's tailgate. I'm going to the superstore or the shitty. I'm going to put it in shop from 25. Okay. 40 miles an hour, waves. It's up to legal speed limit pretty quickly. No wind protection, of course, and there is a certain amount of vibration. We are definitely in Turkey. Stop somewhere and see if I can adjust it. It's not bad. in half a mile. And it's a cold day too. But lots of red light, blue light vehicles on the road. It's nothing too serious. And you could squeeze on the brakes, yeah, sharp as you like. And we've got to sort out that left-hand mirror. Curse of the mirror strikes again. Also, Jesus. I've got to take the right back, I think. Straight away. That has detached, or the other bolt has detached. And I have to take the first exit. That means that is very loose. Just as well, we've got plenty of pockets. As this one. So, 2 loose items on the demonstrator. Not a good start. So, yes, let's see if we can do anything about this. You should keep it from moving about. Okay, still recording. So that one on the test bike, the actual footrest has detached completely, and there's only just the fact that it was lying on the exhaust that's keeping it from there. Trouble is, that also means the exhaust is now not properly attached to the bike, so I'm going to have to very carefully and cautiously take it back. Nil point, Mr. BSA. Plymouth. So, everything's still recording, returning to the dealership at a much reduced speed in the hope that nothing further falls off. I suppose I could call them out, but I think I'll make it back. Drifting vehicle just passed, the cold one tonight. So, I did get a ride on the BSA, but as ever, nothing goes according to plan. Lovely. Okay, not had an accident. That's the important thing. We've done about 7-8 miles, so considering the temperature is only about 3 degrees, I wouldn't do an awful lot more than that, but it just would be nice to feel a little more confident that things are going to be alright on this bike. I'm not at the moment. Anyway, the view of the clocks and instruments looks neat, and yeah, I'd be more than happy to be stuck on this bike, assuming everything was actually tightened up. Yeah, lovely. Yeah, it feels nice, plenty of torque. Throttle open at 50 and it will move. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to do very much of that because I'm worried the exhaust might drop off. Now, keeping to a modest speed. However, I think we will get home now. Third, second, yeah. Bike is very friendly mannered. There's no sort of nasties. It does what it says on the tin. Engine sounds gorgeous. The finish is generally good. I'm assuming that the detaching footrest is a dealer problem that probably happened when they failed to torque it up properly coming out the crate. You know, they would have had to assemble it, I guess. Unless it was delivered fully built. They are sometimes, so I'll certainly raise it with them when I get there, because that could have been a nasty issue. Yeah, and the left-hand rear view mirror. I think they put it on the wrong way, actually. I think there's something amiss with it. There's no gap between my wrist and the mirror, so you're always going to be knocking it when you're getting on and off the bike or doing things. So yeah, that's probably another dealer issue. Lovely controllable clutch, going at slow speeds is really nice. You can hear that single pumping away behind you. I tend to be the sort of person who likes to short shift and my sort of cruiser history, but you can also, I think, bring its neck a bit more. It'll be interesting to see how this bike can be tuned, because I'm sure there's a massive amount of potential. Right, in this section we have to be doing under 40, and we'll just plod along at 40. Yeah, we're in stop. Yeah, a gear indicator would be useful, because it sounds practically the same in all the gears. Beautiful day. Despite the cold weather, it's a beautiful day. I just want to go. I'm not going to make it go because I want it all to arrive home in one piece. Marvellous. 3.5. Yeah, those are a tad small though. I don't know if you can alter the brightness level or anything. That would be handy if you could. Yeah, just rolling the throttle on in top at 35-ish. Sounds very good. Watch this this loader truck. Depends what they do. I think we'll go there to full though because it is almost brand new. Yeah, still has that lurch on the throttle which you can get with modern bikes. That's to do with the Euro 5, isn't it? It feels so lean. But, so, yeah, left here, and we're onto the slow bit anyway. Probably nothing else will fall off. Yeah. Very controllable. Front brake is sharp, so you need to be mindful of that when on greasy roads like these. Certainly. 64.5 miles now. Come on, lights. You're sitting here and you think, why don't the lights change? There's no traffic coming across us. It just seems bananas. Ticks over evenly about 1300, I think. Dials are very readable. Much prefer analog clocks. Gear changes. Haven't quite got the clutch bite point yet on this. As you can tell, it's right near the end, and my hands are on the small side, so it is a little bit of a stretch. So adjustable levers would be a good idea, Mr. BSA, as an accessory. And once again, the rivers and the estuaries look great. Stop to take a photo or two on the way back. Yeah, so tootling along, we're probably in third. There's cars everywhere. He's going to pull out. Then, well, I'll bleep that out, but that's the second one who pulled out from there without indicating. First one was a taxi driver. I know. Indicator on. But that is the trouble with non-self-cancelling indicators. I think they should all be self-cancelling these days. No, as far as Morrison's, right, I'm going to zip across this junction. This is a 30 zone though, so no faster. I won't quite do 30 at the moment in top, but it is a brand new bike. Information button is placed rather awkwardly. You need longer fingers on me. I did not like that groove in the road. Did not. Yeah, track that groove. So I'm driving or riding like an old man, partly because I am an old man, but also unfamiliar bike, very greasy roads, things are falling off. At least the rear view mirror stopped in the right position. But yeah, I dare touch it. Right. See, we're speeding a bit now, so back down to 28. think the seat's a bit on the hard side myself. Other people have said that it's comfortable, but I think you need to be a bit heavier than me to make it comfortable. Certainly a lot of the reviews are by people who are over 6 foot and therefore weigh a bit more, Mr. All-Year Motorcyclist. No, I disagree with you on the seat. It's not comfortable. Lots of good things about this bike though. Yeah, lots of good things. I think it sells well. Let's hope it doesn't have quality issues, because that is a bit of a killer. Not quality problems. Oh, it's so painful having to go everywhere at 30. We should be able to do the turning here. So now I've got to be careful of this, because it's going to be an adverse camber. Should be alright though. How good the grip is on this, so I'm just going to take it steady. Way back. Phew. Get the other camera out and show the missing part. So here we have a BSA with a missing footrest. Really? Yeah, and that holds the silencer on, so potentially a risk. I had to slow down coming back. And also, this rear view mirror, there's something wrong with it. I don't know what exactly, but there is something wrong with it. Right, I'll do my final conclusions in the CAF, I think. Yeah, anyway, I got back in one piece, so that's the main.
You're in one piece.
So's the bike. Yeah, go in your cafe and have another drink.
On the BSA Goldstar, quick slurp of Tivos. Back in GT Legends Cafe, which is a very nice place for a post-ride debriefing. Unfortunately, the ride was cut short rather by the fact that the right-hand passenger foot peg decided to detach itself and was just resting on the silencer. The nut had obviously come off. Fortunately, I recovered it, stuck it in a pocket, and the silencer stayed on all the way back because it is a mounting point. I did have to really cut the speed down and was very, very careful with it on the way back. But I had enough of a ride to feel how it goes, and it's a lovely, torquey, responsive bike that punches above its weight, really. If you look at the BHP rating, you think that's going to be fairly stodgy, but actually it's quite sharp. The brakes are sharp, suspension feels good. Seat was a little bit on the hard side, but I'm sure that's modifiable, and also the bike could do a bit of lowering for a short ass like myself, but for most people it will be fine. The dials, the LCD bit, probably a bit on the small side, but I think that's deliberate to go in keeping with the retro nature of the bike. Controls feel good. The clutch lever, the bike point was a bit far out for me, and I've got short fingers. Now, for most people, that won't be an issue, but I think adjustable levers would be a good addition quite early on if you're going to have one of these. I'm sure there'll be plenty available. It's responsive. The brakes were sharp. The suspension was decent. So many great things about the bike. I didn't miss 6th gear. I think the competitors are things like the Kawasaki Z650 RS, which is about $1 more. Than there's the Triumphs, which are about $3 more. The Motor Guzzi V7, which is about $2 more. And then there's the main competitor is the Interceptor, but of course none of these bikes are singles, so it does stand in a class of its own. And if you want a single that's got character, has proper retro charm, it behaves like a modern bike in all the other ways, this is the bike to go for. So I think it will make a niche for itself in the market. It's got loads of character, like the dual clocks. That's so much nicer than all these fancy TFTs, whatever. So yeah, it'll be successful. As for me, am I going to buy it? Probably not, because I have the Moto Guzzi, which has even more character and charm, and is equally retro. But yes, personal choice, and I might reconsider that in the new year. So yes, thanks for watching this video and these final conclusions. Please like, comment and subscribe. That gets me up the YouTube algorithm. Ooh, up the YouTube algorithm, yes, right. So it gets my videos seen, and then we could do more of them. So this is Captain Clumsy signing off from Plymouth after a slightly eventful test ride. Bye for now.